Today we're going to be talking about inverse functions. This should come as a little review for some of you. We started working on this before we left school. So right here we have our function f of x equals 2x plus 3. X right here is our input. F of x is our output. So when we have this function right here to get our output, we do 2 times our input and then we add 3. Remember, an inverse function happens when 2 functions are inverses to each other if their input-output pairs are reversed. Remember, we can usually find an inverse by reversing the operations. Raise your hand right now if you remember from Unit 2 how to rewrite an equation. Everyone's hand should be up. You're all really good at that. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to find our inverse. To do that, remember, f of x, what's that variable that we could replace f of x with? I'm waiting. You're correct, y. So y equals 2x plus 3. So y equals 2x plus 3. Now remember, we find an inverse by reversing the operations. We're rewriting in terms of the input. So our first step, whoops, I made a mistake. Our first step that we're going to do, we're going to subtract 3 from both sides. Y minus 3, we can't do that, so we leave it as y minus 3. 2x, we haven't touched yet. Positive 3 minus 3 gives us 0. Now, the next step we're going to do, we want to get x by itself. Remember, because x was our input, we're going to divide by 2 on both sides. So we have y minus 3 over 2 equals x. So our inverse is x equals y minus 3 over 2. Now, the tricky thing about inverses is y becomes our input and x is now our output. To find our output, we subtract 3 and then divide by 2, and then we get our output. Remember, you are all very skilled at rewriting equations. That's something we know how to do. We just have a new name for it. We're finding our inverse by rewriting our equations. Have a great day. Let me know if you have any questions.